I'm just going to leave the camera on and let it record. This is too much not to keep recording. I'm just going to let it go until it stops, I guess.
And between now and then, until I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me.
Oh, yeah, this is a perfect song for this. A song about people dying after we're riding around in a hurricane disaster area. Just great.
Grandma passed away in the doorway of the church where me and Grandpa stopped to play. I know I'd never seen him cry all my 15 years, but as he said these words to her, his eyes filled up with tears. If you get there before I do, don't give up on me. I'll meet you when my chores are through. I don't know how long I'll be, but I'm not gonna let you down. Darling, wait and see. And between now and then, till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me. Between now and then, till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me.
Sirius XM. 80s and 90s.
You got to get me to the church on the Cumberland Road.
Hush,
Hit me with the left and right, showing me the tail line.
Alright, just for a quick notation, we are about to come up on the old Panama City Airport. You see that building right there has already lost an entire face. That building's about half gone. Luckily, there's really not an airport here anymore, so there was not much to take away. Coming up on traffic. Everybody must be trying to get into the beach. Come on, dude. I'm letting you in. Come on. Don't be nice. Don't make me regret it. Wow, look at the fence on the old airport. If you notice, the actual chain link is laying right there on the ground. The poles are about half gone. Right about there, you can see where it's kind of folding up, where it finally stopped coming off the fence post. Talked to a couple of guys the other day who had already been down here, and they said pictures don't do it justice, and this is absolutely true. Even this video, if y'all look at it, doesn't show you everything that you can see. I mean, trees are destroyed. Half of them are missing. It literally looks like a war zone where bombs have just exploded in the trees and left just the trunks, maybe the first 10, 20 feet of them. Everything else is just gone.
Prime Country. Much too young to feel this demo was written in Stillwater, Oklahoma. It was Randy Taylor and myself sat and wrote it, and Bob Dole heard it. It made the first record, and then also was the very first single. So I guess as far as my career goes, as far as music goes, this was the one that started it all.
There's some buildings in there somewhere. There you go. There's the point of it. Trees are completely uprooted.
Seems there ain't no inside. Sleep would be nice, but I just can't afford to rest. I got a ride in Denver.
There you go, for some perspective. It says it's 90 degrees outside, and 85 to 90% of these people haven't had power since Tuesday when the hurricane came through. There you go. There's houses in there up under the trees.
And the white line's getting longer, and the satellite's getting low. Not much too young to beat this demo. All the cards are on the table, with no ace left in the hole. Not much too young to beat this demo. This demo, Lord, I'm just too young to beat this demo.
80s and 90s country to help you remember where you came from.
I was born.
I don't know how well y'all can see because I know the sun's coming in just on the corner of the screen.
Prime
So it's making everything really dark.
enduring country music of the 80s and 90s.
It's currently 5 o'clock Panama City time.
Commercial free.
Just kind of show you what we're seeing.
Sirius XM Prime Country.
The little claps you heard were power lines on the ground.
Trying to find the courage to ask her out was like trying to get on from a bar stone. What you said, I can't say. I never did ask, but you moved away. I learned something from my blue-eyed girl. Something you gotta give it a whirl. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you go.
Got a fire truck coming. For anybody who's never experienced a hurricane, that is a 24/7 occurrence. These first responders really don't get enough appreciation because they are running 24/7. You don't spend more than maybe 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes without hearing sirens. Of course, he's coming back, and now this idiot is going to come in and try to block the road. Great job. There you go.
Sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know.
As you see, there's whole buildings here without roofs, windows blown out.
Sunday afternoon on Prime Country on Sirius XM, and so much happening. We got NASCAR, we got football, and we're going to get to all of that. But I think it's time to keep the music rolling. In literally 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks, she will be part of the Nashville Songwriters Hall.
Kind of back to what I was saying about our first responders, because I hear another set of sirens coming this way. In fact, I'm sure they're going to pass right by here in just a second. Probably why the fire truck turned around. Yep, there he goes. These guys are on call 24/7, and when I mean on call, I mean they're on the trucks, in the ambulances. They're on the road. They're not sitting in a firehouse. They're not sitting in the stations. They're not even sitting in the hospital rooms with the people that they've dropped off. They literally drop them off and close the truck back up and go pick up more people. Someone who works in the hospital stopped by earlier and said they're bringing folks in sometimes 2 at a time because they need assistance. You know, there's no power. People need oxygen. It's just really sad. We were talking about it earlier, and one of the guys that I was cutting with, we kind of made a joke of a bet and said, how to say $20, how long do you think the area is going to be without power? 2 months, 3 months. And we stood back and said, I told him, I said, you know what, it could be 2, it could be 3 months, which is hard to believe that this day and age somebody could go that long without power. And sorry, I know the sunshine's back in the screen again, but everything's down here. They've got a depot where they're dumping hundreds upon hundreds of brand new power poles by the day, and just as many spools of power wire and communications cable. And these guys are truly working around the clock, trying to restore anything that they can to give people, a sense of home. I'm not quite sure how long this is going to be before it bounces back. I know I'm rambling on, and whoever's going to be watching this video is probably going to be looking at me saying, why don't you just shut up and let the video talk about itself? But this is just what's going through my head right now. You see these things and you understand that you're complacent is probably the proper term for it, with how your life is. You've got running water, you've got power, internet, cell phones, Facebook. Kids nowadays have Fortnite. Oh boy. I'm sure the kids down here in Panama City are losing their minds. They cannot play Fortnite right now. And they don't understand why. Unless you're maybe 10 or older and you understand that what just happened is exactly why you can't play Fortnite and why there's no power. That people can't flush their toilets because there's no running water. Saw a guy earlier. He grabbed a couple of 5-gallon buckets, went over to his neighbor's house who was not at home, and he was dunking the buckets into her pool dipping water out and walking back across the street to his house just so that he could go to the bathroom. He would go in, do his business, and you just pour the water straight down the toilet. It puts everything, like I said earlier, it puts everything into an entirely new perspective about appreciating what you have. Because you could be stuck in a time like this where you're left with nothing. Many people walked up and were asking us how everything fared, and we're saying, it's been pretty rough, but we're getting through it. I'm not talking about we, I'm talking about the people that I'm helping. And they say, well, that's good. I'm glad to see, that y'all are making something work and y'all are able to get some stuff done. You turn around and ask them the same question. Well, how are you doing? I'm not good. My entire house is gone. And we're not talking about just no roof, maybe some blown out windows. We're saying that their house is completely gone. There's nothing left but a foundation and a few water pipes. And that in itself is genuinely heartbreaking to see. I mean, you got more and more cops coming through. They don't even care that I'm taking this video because they've got so many calls, so many people that genuinely need help. I think they're looking at it like, look, as long as you don't wreck, we don't care. So I'm probably going to ramble a little bit longer, and then I'll just shut up and turn some music back on. But for right now, this is just everything going through my head, and everything that you see right now. It's just heartbreaking. It's devastating. Your heart really bleeds for people like this in this time. And if it doesn't, well, then you and I are probably not friends, because I think that just about everybody I know at least has some kind of heart and, believes that these people need help. And it's just a lot to take in at one time. Oh, I don't know how true this is or not, but I'll probably forget about this little part of the story by the time I get home. We were talking with the gentleman who said he lost his entire house, and he said on the bright side he hadn't been shot. We kind of chuckled and laughed, and come to find out, once he started telling the story, there was a kid who was not up to any good. He was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be after the curfew, and a homeowner pointed it out, and the police officer rode up to him and told him, hey, drop everything you've got. Who are you? What are you doing in this area? This doesn't seem to be like your area. Why are you here? You're stealing. This is wrong. Well, at that point, the guy dropped everything he had in his hands and took off running. The police officer took chase, ran all the way around the house because fences are gone, trees are gone. If you've probably hopped a couple of tree stumps. But by the time he finally got all the way back around to the house, this kid had jumped into the police officer's car and was about to steal the cop car and run off. At that point, from what I heard, the officer drew his weapon and shot the kid because he was about to commit yet another crime on top of anything he had already stolen. He was about to steal a cop car. Which just goes to show you, evil people are going to do evil things, even, especially at these most terrible of times. It's almost like they think that this is the perfect time to get away with it because nobody's going to miss it. You know, that's not true. Don't be a thief. Don't take something that's not yours. And definitely don't do it after someone has already lost 75 to 80% of the house that you just took this TV or radio or whatever it happened to be that you dropped, ran, tried to steal a cop car and got shot over. A, it's not worth it. B, it's not the human decency that we need in a crisis like this. And C, I think you were right for being shot. If you're going to do something stupid, you're going to get stupid consequences. Point in case. That's all there is to it. On another note, I've been sitting here writing, doing my little video. Turned it on and off a couple of times. Probably been in the car. It was 5:45 Georgia time when I got in the truck to head towards the condo. And it's currently 6:15 Georgia time, so 5:15 Florida time. I've been on the road for 30 minutes, probably made it 3 miles, if that. Usually in 30 minutes I can make it from my starting point where I was cutting down trees today. I could make it all the way to the room and sit back, enjoying a beer. Not today. It's just not happening. But after seeing some of the things that I've seen so far, I can't say that I'm upset. At least not in the angry side of the word. Especially when we're driving by people who have completely lost cars, been crushed by trees, they've lost houses due to trees and wind damage. They've lost family members. I don't know what the fatality count is as far as Panama City or even Florida. I think the grand total was about 19 when I was listening to the news this morning on the way down. Which is sad. Most of those are probably due to people thinking that they could endure the storm because when it got ready to make landfall, it was only a soft category 3, and then it just sprung up somehow and became a high category 4, possibly even a category 5, depending on what machine was reading, or if the machine quit reading when it read the highest points. So that's just people not listening, heeding the calls by the state. They told them, you're in a section of evacuation. And somebody pointed this out earlier. I'm in section D, or evacuation zone D. I'm not quite sure why in the hell you have zones for evacuations. There's no point for having an evacuation zone. If you're in the area where they think that the damage is going to be critical, hazardous, and create this kind of destruction, then every zone that can hear it on a radio is in the evacuation zone. And you need to get your ass out. Because clearly, Zone D, Zone Dumbass, was told y'all aren't in the critical area. Well, Zone D stayed. Zone D said that they would never stay again, whether or not they said that they would be okay or not. They said they're going to get the hell out next time they even hear the idea of a mandatory evacuation anywhere in this vicinity. You can tell the water's been out, or there's ruptured mains or something somewhere. I just got a big whiff of rotten eggs, which means that the sulfur water, which you usually smell coming out of the sprinkler systems at night at Panama City Beach, is either sitting or is flowing out of a pipe somewhere. Because I'm here to tell you, it stinks. Hi, by the way. Some of these houses fared all right. It seems. Uh-oh. We got another popo coming up behind us somewhere. There he is. Here he comes. There he is. When I told y'all earlier that these guys are on call, first response is on call 24/7, it wasn't a joke. In the past 5 minutes, you've heard sirens at least 3 times. And it's probably not going to end for a long time. As soon as you grab one and get them dropped off at the hospital or at a doctor clinic, wherever they can be treated and seen, the first responder, whether it be police, sheriffs, Florida Highway Patrol, state troopers, fire, EMS, any of them, volunteers, they turn right around and go get somebody else. Like, there you go. That guy right here is carrying, looks like small pet carriers. He's probably got either stray pets or at his house, or he's got his animals at the house and he lost his fence. He's trying to go get them round up. Hey, I can almost see the turn to start heading down 23rd Avenue towards the beach. Yeah, we're nowhere near the bridge yet at this rate. So, but now you're going to get close to seeing the destruction that has gone on 23rd Avenue. So far, it's just been the side road of 390. As you see, you got power trucks lined up for days. All of them out here trying to get stuff knocked out, either waiting on a pole or waiting on wire. I promise you, I've had a couple of people say that these power crews are just sitting around on their butts not doing anything. Well, if they're not doing anything, they're either lining up getting ready to do something else, or they ran out of materials in which they can do something with. I think you've got these two guys right up here. If I can zoom in on them, they seem to be stripping wire and either connecting new cable or breaking apart old cable so they can start getting it out of the way and start replacement. I think I see they've got a new power pole right there, because if you look right there to the right, you see where the old one just broke off and is sitting right there. That's it. So, again, for anybody who says these power companies and these volunteers aren't doing anything, you come on down here and show them how it's done, buddy. I'd sure love to see how you react to all this. Hey, they actually did get a light working. Holy cow. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know if I'm pointing it at it, but that light's actually working. Mississippi Power. There's one I hadn't seen yet. Seen Georgia, Florida. Seen Kentucky. Seen people here from Canada. Yeah, we've got power companies down here from Canada. How's that crazy? You got some kid riding around on his little scooter right there. Go for it, dude. Go for it there, homie. Go ham. Oh my gosh, there's a car lot. All the windows are blown out. You see all the stuff on the road. It appears some of the cars fared well. Cars actually don't seem too terribly messed up. Alright, I see people going around here to the right. We're gonna see if we can do it. It's probably not going to pan out too well. We're probably going to get